because the way you feel about your mom is the true definition of love.
Okay.
Or it could be your mom, it could be your dad, but anybody that you're like, yo, you get what I'm saying? So it's like, am I able to duplicate that feeling towards others? I
don't think you could duplicate the same feeling.
No, because but you can strive for it. You can aim for it, and the closer you're able to get to that,
the closer you are to love.
The closer you are to love.
Yeah.
Not to say that you gotta love everybody like you love your mom. That's not. Yeah, but just that feeling itself.
Yeah.
You know how you feel about like when you hear your mom speak, or you're in a room with your mom. Just a different.
Yeah.
To it, right? Am I able to feel the same way with the people that I care about? Whether it's a cousin, whether it's my wife or my girlfriend or my sister. Or,
if you don't. Are you saying that's what you're striving for?
I think you're striving for that feeling in yourself, because if I know, like, for example, I can easily say today that you're one of the individuals that I love.
Yeah.
Right? Because if today I hear something,
how cute.
if
hell of an intro, I tell you what you info, but I never really been the type of dude to give no info. But if you see your ends low and you trying to get a benzo, I'll give your ass some game that'll change the way that you think, bro. Super skilled with the pencil, super ill in my mental. I reminisce on life, I'm nice, here's my memento. Get it through your tempo, I get on any tempo and give it all I got. I'm hot, I got like 10 flows, trying to live on the 10th floor, across from residentials that I own. My mind stay grown, I used to think clothes, I really used to think hoes and what I do to get those, and then I switched it up, I'm only thinking potential.
Let's get it. It's another one. We're back again with another one of the Walk and Grow podcast. You know how we do it. You know what we do here. We talk about the good, the bad, the ugly. What else you need to know? You tell me. And I'm gonna make sure I cover it for you, because that's what we do. We don't only talk about what we want to talk about. We talk about what they want to talk about. Well, I shouldn't say
who's
that.
they?
The listeners, man. The listeners, our audience.
Did you ever ask your listener what they want to talk about?
No, but I have spoken to a few of them. So, anything else you have to say?
No, but I think it's important to get their opinion.
Absolutely. So, what have you been doing to get their opinion?
I am over there trying to bring the content to fruition. You know, it's your job to go out there and make sure that, you know, people get the content they need.
Absolutely. And that's why speaking to people that have taken the time to listen to what we have created is the start of how you get that feedback from whoever it is that you need. And that, I mean, the podcast in itself will start really off of relationships, I would say. And what I mean by that, and not intimate relationship, just relationship in general, because when you're starting anything, and, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, but when you're starting anything, you really got to start with the people that you know and the people that you already have a relationship with. And once you can tap into them and they can really indeed help you understand, you know, give you that feedback, understand what you're trying to do, that's how you really can emphasize and make whatever it is that you're working on a little bit better. But it's truly indeed starts with, you know, having some sort of, I'm sure everybody has a sphere or a network that you got where you can go ahead and pour into them as much as they're pouring into you.
Yeah, but you have to be at a point where you understand how you want to go about certain things for you to even be there and make that decision.
I mean, what do you mean make that decision?
To be able to understand where you are. What were you talking about?
I'm just talking about because you said, what was it? The people that have not given me feedback and.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're not. So how are you? What are you doing to you know?
I have relationships. That's what I'm saying. I have
okay. So you have these relationships. Are you nurturing those relationships?
Bro, that's how you have a relationship with somebody.
No, that's not. Because you can have a relationship with somebody. You can have a relationship with somebody, but not nurture it.
Yeah, that's not a relationship then.
Then what is it?
It's an acquaintance. Somebody you speak to on just once in a blue.
All right, let me put it this way. You have a cousin that you haven't talked to in 2 years, but it's your cousin, and you have somewhat of a relationship with that cousin because you've shared moments in the past that, you know, only the two of you or the three of you can relate to, but you haven't talked to that cousin in a long time. You have a relationship with that cousin, but you haven't nurtured that relationship over the past 2-3 years. That's where I'm going with this.
But if you have experiences with that person, I see what you're saying in terms of nurture. I don't think you need to nurture if you have experiences with that person.
What? So you don't think it's relevant to check on your people?
No, absolutely, it's important to check on your people. But when you mention nurture, that means you're trying to build a relationship still.
No. Nurturing is not necessarily building anything. It's not even. It's more about maintaining than building. So I'm asking you.
So I have to talk to you every day to nurture a relationship.
Not
I have
every
to talk
day.
to you every week.
I have people.
Man.
I call them the birthday people. We only talk when it's each other's birthday.
Yeah, so
right?
That's fine.
But it's still nurturing the relationship to a certain extent.
I mean, I don't know if I see what I don't know if that.
I'm not gonna go 2 years without 2-3 years without having words with you and still consider our quote unquote relationship to be a relationship after
Why?
2-3 years of not talking.
Why? What's wrong with that?
Because
everybody has something going on in their life.
Yes.
So because y'all haven't an exchange of words. That's why you don't consider. So you're still
considering a relationship even if it's 10 years down the line and you haven't. Well, now I'm adding years, but like
add as many years you want. You are still somebody I know, and you're still somebody I respect. So yes, there's still something there that we can go ahead and build upon.
Wait,
I don't need to, bro. I'm one that's firm on this, and I used to be like this, and it's probably one of my worst habits. But I don't check on people enough. you know.
Yeah. I mean, same. I can agree.
That has not, I wouldn't say impacted me in a negative way, but it's just me not doing that has, yes, not allowed me to nurture certain relationships that I should nurture a little bit more than others because the person may need it a little bit more than other. But me personally, bro, if you don't talk to me in 2 years, man, we could pick up the conversation 2 years later like it was yesterday. That's just how I am, though. But not everybody is like that. So that's why when you say you haven't spoken to somebody in a very long time, and so what, you're just saying that everything else doesn't matter, like the relationship's over?
I'm not saying the relationship doesn't matter. I'm just saying if you really value a relationship, you should find a way to maintain it. Or not maintain it, and nurture it. Mm-hmm. In a sense that it's not fully dissolved.
I think you're being a little selfish.
How am I being selfish if I want to maintain a relationship with people?
Because you're saying this is what you want, though.
True. I just think it makes the most sense. It's not something that I feel as though everybody should do, but I think it makes the most sense in terms of when you're growing with an individual. Yo, look at your relationship with your mom. Would you consider? I mean, I've been that individual where I was in a position where I didn't talk to my mom for 4 or 5 years.
So was the relationship over?
The relationship wasn't over, but I wasn't growing that relationship in any way. I wasn't nurturing that relationship anyway. It was stagnant. I had to pick up where I left off after that period of time.
Because you guys have more than, and how I view that, that's not just a relationship. That's a bond in my eyes. That's something that's unbreakable. Because for you to be able to pick up where you left off after not speaking for X amount of years, bro, that's powerful. Like you could say relationship, you could say bond, you could say whatever you want. I mean, however you decide to put that into your own words, that's fine. But it's to be able to, to nurture, it's important. I think so. Because then you want to go ahead and take advantage, not even take advantage, but you want to be able to, what's the word I'm looking for? You want to be able to make sure that you're getting the most out of that relationship, essentially, which is great if you nurture. But if you don't nurture, you can't necessarily get the best because you're not even speaking to the person on a daily or weekly or monthly or yearly basis, whatever the case may be. But to say if you don't speak to somebody and there's no longer a relationship, that's long gone, man. That's long gone. That's I don't know if I could agree on that point.
That the relationship is long gone?
If you haven't spoken to somebody in years, yeah. I mean, you haven't spoken to your mother in years, that relationship ain't gone. That's your mother, man.
True.
That's a bad example because it's your mother.
I know. But you have individuals like, again, I'm going to use myself. I haven't spoken to my dad in years. But that relationship if it was to come back to fruition today, it won't be picked up where I picked up with my mom. You get what I'm saying?
Interesting.
So it's going to be at a completely different level.
Right. And that's the same here.
Yeah. So I haven't spoken to him in years. That's me not nurturing that relationship. Not that I blame myself for anything or, or look at it any other way. But in the context of relationship, me not having, constant conversation with this individual for such a period of time is me not nurturing that relationship.
Right.
So are we considering that relationship dead?
I mean, you already said it's dead, because even if you were to nurture it, today, tomorrow, it would never. You said it won't be a relationship. It would never. Essentially, you're saying, if I'm not mistaken, it will never be the same. So even if I think, yeah, it's dead, just because you've already set the tone that, yeah, it's dead. It's so at that point, it's just somebody you're in contact with, your acquaintances. I think. Let me actually pull up the word acquaintance, because
you've been getting in trouble lately quite a lot.
I ain't getting in trouble with who?
With Bruce Wayne.
Bruce Wayne, man. Come on, man. We all make mistakes. What did Miley Cyrus say?
I don't know.
Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has those days.
I don't.
Oh, man.
I don't listen to that.
Everybody, so you don't have to listen to it. Everybody watched when you were younger. I mean, maybe you haven't.
The only person I know is Hannah Montana.
That's exactly.
I don't know Miley Cyrus.
Hannah Montana. That's Hannah Montana.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, I only know one aspect of that individual.
Get him.
And nobody's gonna get me. I know what I'm talking about.
A person one knows slightly. There we go. I guess that makes sense. So then, yeah, I mean, you can consider family acquaintances, because if you only know that person slightly, you don't really know that person, then it doesn't really work out. Like, a person you know slightly isn't really a close friend. I would hope not, at least, because if it's a close friend, you only know them slightly. It's a big question mark around there, all around there.
Yeah, true. But I think we are looking at it in a way where it won't really matter whether you nurture that relationship or not.
It shouldn't.
It shouldn't matter as long as both parties value the relationship.
I agree. So then now it becomes a conversation of,
what's a valuable relationship?
Boom. Seriously.
Yeah.
Like, not only that, but, what kind of characters do you look for in a valuable relationship? Because, yeah, you can consider like a valuable relationship, but if that person's character doesn't align or you don't like it, then it's not going to be valuable to you anymore. There's no reason for it.
True, but I think to me, I always go back to this, and I'm always going to go back to this, is you need to understand yourself better.
Yeah.
Before you know what kind of relationship you want to build. Without having a foundation of who you are, it's hard for you to go out there and know, who do I want to associate myself with. That's how you're able to build meaningful and valuable relationship with people.
Yep. And I think an easy way to kind of go about that, if you're looking for the easy way out, what are your principles? You know what I mean? Yep. What are your core, like, no disrespect. Like, mine is respect and loyalty. If I can't get either one of those things out of you, bro, if I can't get one of them out of you, bro, I promise you, man, you are just an acquaintance to me. Like, if and those are two things that you just can't get overnight. So of course, yes, that's all that stuff takes time.
It does.
And that's fine. And we're not just talking about, personal relationships, family relationship. We're talking all of them, like business, personal, family,
romantic,
all that. We're talking it all, because it's important for us to build relationships with individuals to grow. Again, walk and grow. You're going to hear us a lot talk about growth.
Yeah. I mean, that's why we're here, to be able to tap into some of the questions that we tend to neglect or don't answer immediately, because that's what allows us to grow. If you think about it, there are some questions that you just overlook throughout the day, but those are the questions you really need to answer to be able to elevate yourself. So answer those questions. If you need to pause this podcast and reevaluate your relationship with the people that you have in your life, do so. But what I want you to get out of it is to realize, okay, are these valuable relationships to where, it's allowing me to grow and also allowing me to help other individuals grow, and just not for yourself.
And I would say only pause this and reevaluate if you see a big question mark or something that doesn't make sense to you. If everything is good and groovy and you making them, you making things move, there's no reason for you to reevaluate things.
Sure.
Everything is going just as fine. But I think it's truly indeed important to understand what it is that you want within yourself, within your principles, and find people that have those same sort of principles that align with you. Because once you guys align with each other, then everybody's gonna have those days where y'all go back and forth. You don't see eye to eye. I mean, that's normal. But because both of you individuals have those same principles, it shouldn't be hard to get over. And that's the key thing. It's, we're humans. We all have emotions. We all go through things. So it's normal for, I think, anybody to kind of, not agree, agree to disagree. And, take criticism as well. So criticism is another form that a lot of people, I think, don't like. But anyways, it's good to agree to disagree so that you can kind of make it over that hump. But it's, how mature are you? You're going to actually make it over that hump as well.
True. I mean, in any relationship, there will always be
bumps on the road. Always.
There will always be a surface where we don't fully agree on certain things, and you have to adjust. I think of any relationship as a table where you can have things that you put on it that I have completely no idea, what you're putting on this table. And I put things on the table, and we're able to understand that all these things are going to work together. But we also understand that we have principle, and those principles, create the boundaries that we have.
Mm-hmm.
But it's how can I, sit at this table with you and accept who you are with all the baggages that you bring to the table, and still allow you to, be who you are,
right.
Grow as well, mm-hmm. without stepping on your toes. That's, a valuable or meaningful relationship,
mm-hmm.
to me. What are some of the relationships that has, over time, when you look back, I don't know if it's 5, 3, 2 years or 10 years from now, that allowed you to be who you are today, that you feel as though had a major impact on your life?
Oh, man. I mean, I can't speak on the past because everyone that has an impact on my life is still here, thankfully. So it's not so much of a past relationship. All my relationships that I've had, there's still, I could actually speak on one.
Are we talking family relationship, like a corporate business relationship, or you acquaintances, friends, romantic? What kind of relationship is this? You don't have to give us the name of the individual.
Yeah, I mean, Barra, this is my life. I give you the name if I want. Johnny. You know who you are. But nah, most of them are. I would definitely say there was one relationship, and I would say that one relationship allowed me to grow quickly. Just because I had to realize, like, all right, I can't really count on you to be there for me right now. So I'm gonna do what I gotta do, and I'm gonna figure out, how to maneuver my way out. But this one particular one I'm talking about is one that enabled me to see things completely different and respect people in a way where everyone deserves to be respected. I mean, when you have someone tell you, get to be my friend before you try to do anything else with me, that's very important, because a lot of times I think we fail to realize and fail to see things in a perspective of another person, because you're focused on whatever it is that you want. But the person literally said, be my friend before you try to do anything else with me. Like, get to know me. Understand who I am. Understand if this is even what you really want, right? Because once you go in there, the game is over. Like, now it goes down a deep cycle that you sometimes don't even want to go down. But get to knowing the person, building that relationship. That relationship is going to enable you to identify if the core principles of that person align with you. But I would say that there's probably two that I really don't nurture anymore. That made an impact. You. Oh, absolutely, yeah. But
why don't you nurture those relationships anymore?
Well, one I nurture here and there. It's one of those birthday ones. The other one, yeah. The other one disrespected one of my principles. So
okay,
it's just that simple.
So
that's it.
So it will be. Would you say it's safe to assume that your principle dictate the type of relationships you have.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Good.
And the principles, they dictated. However, the person dictated more than my principle. So my principle is behind the person. So I allow the person to really show me who they are, what they're about. You know, I don't put my principles on anybody. My principles stand behind the person. I allow the person to really, you know, give me their true self. And once I'm able to see, you know, who their true self is, I see if my principle aligns with them. And if so, then we keep things moving. If not, then, I mean, I keep you at a,
Can you give us,
at arm's length.
You don't have to tell us all your principles.
My principles, it's simple, man. It's simple. Respect and loyalty. That is it. Those are my two primary principles. And the reason why those are, you know, those are what you hold to my heart. Because those are not easily given. And those are easily taken away. Right? I could take them away with a snap of a finger. All it takes is one thing to be done, and that's it. It's over. But they're not easily given. So the fact that they're not easily given, it allows me to really analyze and observe and to really get to see somebody for who they really are. And with that being said, it's worked for me pretty well. I mean, so far so good. Hopefully, knock on wood, right? I don't want no bad experiences to come after that, but
you'll be good.
Yeah, I'm not too concerned. I stay true to who I am. I stay true to my principles, and anybody else that knows me, they know I'm a very simple guy, man. I don't try to complicate anything. Just respect. If you show respect, you're gonna get respect. You want to be loyal to somebody, you're gonna get loyalty. It's just truly indeed what it is that you want out of that relationship, out of that person. And yeah, I mean, what characters would you say that you, or at least principles that you have that you look for in others?
For myself, I'm just gonna touch on that a little bit, and then I have another question for you. But for myself, what I've found to be really helpful in terms of my principles is love and discipline. When you are able to love another individual or love something else than yourself, you show a sense of maturity or a sense of understanding that life is not just about you. And if you're able to do that in a way where you're disciplined enough to, you know, stick to caring about people more than just yourself, that's one of the principles that I gravitate towards more. Yes, we were born by ourselves, but
you're gonna die by yourself.
You're gonna die by yourself as well, but you know, you spend most of your lifetime in an environment with other people. You know, I always think about this one question: am I able to duplicate? It's hard. It's nearly impossible, right? But I don't like to use the word impossible. Am I able to duplicate the feelings that I have for my mom with others? Because the way you feel about your mom is that's the true definition.
Okay.
Or it could be your mom, it could be your dad, but anybody that you're like, yo, you get what I'm saying? So it's like, am I able to duplicate that feeling towards others? I
don't think you could duplicate the same feeling.
No, because but you can strive for it. You can aim for it, and the closer you're able to get to that,
the closer you are to love.
The closer you are to love.
Yeah.
Not to say that you gotta love everybody like you love your mom. That's not. But just that feeling itself.
Yeah.
You know how you feel about like when you hear your mom speak, or you're in a room with your mom. Just a different.
Yeah.
To it, right? Am I able to feel the same way with the people that I care about? Whether it's a cousin, whether it's my wife or my girlfriend or my sister. Or,
if you don't. Are you saying that's what you're striving for?
I think you're striving for that feeling in yourself. Because if I know, like, for example, I can easily say today that you're one of the individuals that I love.
Yeah.
Right? Because if today I hear something,
how cute.
if today I hear, Vonnie is in a situation, it's gonna hit me a lot harder than if I hear, John Doe got in this situation. Okay, cool, good for him.
Right.
You know, for you, I will get a private jet and pull up.
Fact.
You know, because that's how I feel towards you. And so if you're able to, you know that that's how you feel towards an individual, it's easy to nurture those relationships.
I hope it is easy to nurture the relationship if that's how you feel. Would you say though that's a quality you look for in a person? Like you mentioned love, so is that love just within that person being able to love somebody else, like
able to love more than just themselves? I
okay,
can't say
okay,
a
okay.
person. I can't say a thing, but able to have the ability to love more than you love yourself.
Gotcha. Because I was gonna ask you, I mean, how do you measure if somebody loves you or
There's
not?
no scale, bro.
Exactly. That's my
no
point.
Scale.
You can't really, but you kind of answered it.
The only scale I can
give
give you is how you feel towards your parents.
Mm.
You know, I mean, some people who have a bad taste towards their parents. This is a bad example. But how you feel, how you
your parents
feel,
breeded you, bro.
No, but you have people who are like, parents could have been alcoholic, and
that's
like,
fair.
They have a bad experience with their parents, so they don't love their parents anymore. Yeah. You have situations like that. But for those who love their parent, they're like die hard, like, these are my people.
Yeah.
That feeling that you have when you're meeting people and connecting, can you get close to that feeling at any point? Because that's when you know, these are my people.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, so
you were gonna ask another question though. Do you remember? Yeah.
It's more about, as you're continuing to grow in this environment, in the things that you're trying to tap into. What do you feel as though you need to work on? When it comes to relationship, oof. Don't tell me patience, because I know patience comes in every different aspect.
But that's literally what it is. I mean, having patience and allowing people to grow at their own pace. That's truly, and when I say patience, yes, patience can be a massive different things. But my patience is allowing people to grow at their own pace. I tend to grow fairly quickly. And I don't allow any burden to really push me back. So, however, when I'm when I'm dealing with friends, family, or, whoever, and I hear these things that holds them back, it's like, what the hell is wrong with you? Not to say there's anything wrong with you, but it's because I'm looking at it from just my perspective and my journey and my experiences, and just not allowing anything to really hold me back. But I would say in terms of my relationships, in terms of one thing I definitely think I should work on a little bit more is allowing people to give people the patience to grow at their own pace, because that would then enable me to kind of see, their core values, to see their values in itself, to see their characteristics, to see, if they even align with my principles. If I don't give that person a chance, then how am I ever going to really know if that's them or not, and if they're even in alignment with me or not? It's all about that chance, and I think that's one of my big keys that I definitely try to work on a lot. And shout outs to BBNB podcast. Go check them out right now. One of the co-hosts actually helps me a ton with this. With just giving people that time, because he's a he's a really patient guy, and he's like, yo, chill out, man.
What's his name? Well, I need to know.
Go check out the podcast. You'll figure it out.
Bro, you gonna make me go through all that work?
Yep. It's a great podcast.
You see, I can't nurture a relationship with you if you're acting like this.
Why not?
Boy. Because you're violating one of my principles. You're not loving me right now, man.
Hey, yo. Nah, it's showing love. I'm showing love to a platform that everybody should check out, because one of the hosts on there is actually one of my good friends, and you'll figure out who it is.
Cool.
And if you don't, then you can go ahead and email me. You can DM me. You can do whatever you need to do to get in touch with me, and maybe I'll release his name. I've said his name before, actually, so. Yeah. If you pay attention, you'll know exactly who I'm talking about.
Right.
And if you don't, then shame on you. But what about you? What would you say that you need to work on?
Bro, that's a good question. When it comes to relationship, more than anything, I think it's the discipline to nurture those relationships. I've come across a lot of relationship that, could have or should have went in the right direction, but I tend to be in my own bubble a lot, that I don't have time to nurture these relationships. That's why I was asking you,
everybody got time.
Yeah, I just don't create that time.
No,
so
you don't care
having
enough.
Right, exactly, if you want to put it that way. So having a balance to nurture some of the relationship that I've had in the past, Now I do a good job at it because, I understand the importance of having a network of individuals around you, especially people that, align with your principles. But in the past, it was one thing that I struggled with. It's like, if we could see eye to eye today, but I'm going to fail to maintain that, in a year or two because I wasn't good at the time with communication.
Gotcha.
So I really had to develop my communication skills to be able to nurture a relationship. So to me right now, what I'm working on is having the discipline to nurture a relationship with the people that, I care about.
Yeah. I think a good way to even think about it is just know that everybody wants to converse. Everybody does. Like, everybody wants a conversation with somebody. Nobody just wants to be, in solitary. That's no fun.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good way to look at it. Is just everyone wants a conversation, and the person may not even they may not look like they're seeking for one, but if you just start one, you'll know then if they really want one or not based off of their answers. I can tell really quickly if somebody's interested or not. I could tell really quickly, and it's based off of their answers. Whether are they enthusiastic or are they dry, or are they giving you short answers, long answers? Are they actually interacting? Are they listening? Are they
you can read somebody's energy. You can read
really
somebody's vibe and
fast
tell
too.
From the get-go.
Like, just think about what happened this past weekend when we went to Charlotte.
Lovely experience.
Right.
Lovely experience, and I will do it all over again. Shout out to Sophie out there if you're listening. That was a lovely experience. Right. It's not every day that you pull up at a Home Depot parking lot and meet somebody that really gets your mind thinking. And that conversation with her allowed me to see things on a different level to a certain extent.
Right.
She challenged me in a way. She doesn't even know it. I don't think she does, but it was a good conversation.
But that's right there. That's like a relationship right there that you're gonna nurture.
And that's a relationship that I would love to nurture.
Right. I think we're both gonna nurture it. It was a great conversation. People that challenge me, also I look for it. Because again, I'm looking to grow. I'm looking to get better. Yeah. I'm looking to, who can I not necessarily add to my network, but who could help me grow into becoming the person I'm looking to be. And that's it. People that challenge me, that's one of my key things, man. If you don't really challenge me enough, man, keep you real close. But people that challenge me, I'm gonna keep them even closer. But the conversation itself, the way that came about was just hilarious, man.
Yeah, I know. There's a moment like where I looked at you. I'm like, yo, is this really happening? And it's like, yeah, it's happening.
But that's just taking action. Like, again, that's just who we are. That's just who I am. That's just how I think everybody should kind of go about things. Yeah. You're gonna let your mind take you out of things. Go ahead. You're gonna miss out on opportunities, man. And then what? Because what? Well, let's bring the listeners back to actually what happened. We leave Home Depot. We're walking outside. We see a lady with a dog. I'm not gonna say I'm not a dog lover.
I'm the dog lover here.
I just, dogs are dogs. Like, when you see them, it's like, oh, they're nice, man.
I'm
not disrespecting people, but when I see a dog, it's like, oh, cute, nice dog, cool. Okay, let's go. I
wanted to go pet the dog, bro.
Right, that was what you wanted. So
yes.
And then, it's funny that you say that that's what you wanted, but I got the vibe that, that's what you wanted, but I didn't really get the vibe that you were actually going to go over there and
do it. Yeah, you thought I was just talking to talk?
I want to go pet the dog. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, so start walking towards the person like you want to pet it. However, I don't know if this is something I saw. When you said that, I saw you like slow down a bit, and I don't know if you were thinking about it.
I did second guess. I'm like, I don't want to be annoying. I hate to be annoying because I hate to be bothered when I'm doing other things. Right. So it's like, I didn't want to. And she was already talking to a guy, and I was like, I have so many reasons not to go there. Yeah. But that's still, I want to pet the dog. Like,
right. That's crazy that you say that because you let your mind get to you right there.
Yeah, exactly.
You let your mind literally dictate whether you should do something or not, and even though you know that's what you wanted to do. But he said it, and in my mind, I'm like, why does this man want to go over there and pet the dog? Can we just go back and go do what we got to go do? Because it was a late night anyways, and, we had things that we had to take care of. But sure enough, we both walked over there despite us not wanting to. Both of us literally talking to him. Man, come on, man. Yeah. Why do you want to go over there for?
It turns out to be the highlight of the day because,
absolutely.
From there we were able to bounce, different ideas off of that conversation, and we are in contact with Sophie now. So it's like,
Yeah. Shout outs to Sophie, man.
yeah.
That was good.
That was good.
That was good. That was good. But that we say all this to really say, like, man, it's important to strike those conversations up, despite whether you want to or not. And if you're not a good person to, speak to people or even like speaking to people, find somebody that's really good at it, because that's you can really bounce off of their energy and just really keep everything going. I think I know someone who literally surrounds themselves around extroverts because they are an introvert. Because they know if they surround themselves with that person is going to create conversations, and all they got to do is chime in. It makes their life extremely easy because you don't have to start nothing. All you got to do is be in the vicinity.
Gotcha.
And the game is there for you. Now it's, what do you do when the opportunity presents itself?
That's true. Now, you can't really talk relationship without talking romantic relationships. That's just not fair. I have to touch on it.
That's okay.
Which one has impacted you the most?
Out of what?
All the romantic relationships you've been in. Which one has impacted you the most?
Which romantic relationship impacted me the most?
Yes. It's a legit question, bro.
I don't know. I think my current one, then, I would say. And yeah, I'm playing it safe.
You don't want to go.
I ain't going home.
You don't want to go home. And there's a shotgun at the door, right?
Nah. I would say my current one, just because I've been able to grow into who I even wanted to be. Well, again, something we talk about again a lot. Know what you want, right? So I was able to grow into who it is that I even wanted to be, and from there, I was able to come across somebody who is growing into who they wanted to be. So then now, when we kind of come together, it's like, wow, your goals are very similar to my goals, and what you want is very similar to what I want. Shoot, let's grow an empire together now. I would definitely say my current is what helped me and changed me, because again, it's one of my big things that I need to work on is patience. And there's a ton of patience that goes on that end, a ton of it. But I wouldn't say, I don't think I've had really, outside of that, anything else besides the one I talked about earlier with knowing, being someone's friend before you try to do anything else with them. I think that's another one I would say, but that's just more of a teaching lesson that
did I ever tell you my logic with that, like being somebody's friends before you do anything else?
No.
This is gonna sound crazy, but remember, I think a while back I mentioned, how long does it take for you to trust someone with your phone?
To know somebody.
No. How long would it take for you to trust somebody with your phone? Like, give them your phone, the password, and say, go through it and do everything, right? Just check everything, right? If you're able to do that with an individual, that's somebody that you trust. We tend to move a bit backwards with it. Like, we'll trust people, more with other things than even our personal, aspects. So it's one of those things like, you're so quick to get to this point. Can I, but yet I won't trust you with my phone.
That's wild.
That makes sense. Backwards, but yeah.
It makes sense in terms of what you're referring to. But it definitely, like you said, it's backwards.
It is.
I mean,
it is.
Yeah. It's one of those things where it's like, you really got to like think about it and sit with yourself. It's like, man, like, you won't give somebody your phone, but you'll give them the world. Huh? Make it make sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Huh?
Yeah. You won't give somebody your phone, but you quote unquote take a bullet for them. Think about that.
It's let that really sit in and really dwell on, how you maneuver these romantic relationships. However, let's touch upon you real quick. Go ahead.
Upon me?
Yeah.
What upon me? What upon me?
In terms of what that you look for in a no. You asked me a question in terms of what. Well, there we go, right here.
Another question. I just didn't want to repeat it.
No, that's fine. What romantic relationship has impacted you?
I think to me, they all impacted me in a way where I was able to grow and learn more about myself. But the one that really made me look in the mirror and say, would I let my daughter date me?
Oh, wow.
Is the one when I was in it for 5 years. After 5 years and it still didn't work, I really had to look at myself in the mirror and say, would I let my daughter date me?
Yeah.
Would I let my daughter date this individual who's standing here, which triggered a completely different mindset and turned me who I am today.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm forever grateful for the fact that it didn't work. I think that was a blessing. You know, I told you, I don't know I don't know if I ever told you this, but Collateral Beauty, it's a movie, right? Where, you know, a couple lose their child. The child was 6 years old, died from a disease, and they have to find the beauty within their child dying. You know how hard that is? Your only child passes away, and you have to find a beauty behind that entire concept. So I had to find the collateral beauty in the relationship not working, which I did. I did a phenomenal job, and which allowed me to be where I am today. I'm forever grateful for it. But that was my biggest blessing. It impacted me the most because it changed my perspective on life. But I'm 100% sure I learned from every single romantic relationship that I've had in. It allowed me to grow to a certain aspect.
I mean, when you're in multiple relationships or even a long-term relationship, you learn a little bit more about yourself. So it's like you're finding qualities in a person, especially if those that don't work, you're finding qualities in a person that you're like, yeah, nah, I don't want to do this no more with, or at least with that type of quality. Like you find qualities that just doesn't work for you, and you're able to pull out to get closer to what it is, that person that you truly indeed are looking to be with. However, I will ask you this one thing. Do you think those 5 years was time wasted?
No. Absolutely not. And we could tap in when we do a relationship 2.0 episode, we could tap into that even heavier. I would love to share.
You don't think you wasted 5 years?
I did not waste 5 years.
Okay, cool.
I did not waste 5 years. I grew.
So
every year for sure.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll come back on.
We'll come back to this.
this.
Y'all have a good night.
I'm out of here, y'all. Peace.
And really, man, the focus is just leveling up. Cause I know the life I want, I'm just setting it up. Removing those that's close who try messing it up. Can't wait for champagne toast with the relevant bunch. Like, what's up? Yeah. Like, what you do, homie? What's your vision? How you thinking? How you move, homie? And is you cool, homie? You thinking building, then that's something we could do, homie.